So welcome back to the channel, guys. And today, as you can see, we have got the Lionel Messi of football journalism on the channel.
Thank you.
Welcome to the channel, Fabrizio Romano.
Hello, guys.
Appreciate you giving up your time. I know you're extremely busy, especially with the transfer window as active as it has been. I don't think many people expected it to be as active so quickly. But we're going to come on to some transfers a little bit later down the road. I know you get bombarded with comments, questions, everyone asking, what about this player? What about this player? I want to go down a slightly different route rather than just bombarding you with players. I want to find out about you as a person and how you got into sports journalism, because your rise has just been epic. I remember when when you tweeted, it was, I think, last July, about Nicolas Pepe going to Arsenal.
Yes.
And I think he was one of the very first, if not the very first, to put that out on social media. And it just went, and since then I've followed you, and the amount of followers you get, the comments, the retweets, it's unbelievable. But how did you get into that position of just being a random young man that wants to be a sports journalist?
First of all, I have to say thank you. I'm so happy to be with you. Really, thanks for the invitation. And yes, I'm busy, but I like to speak with you, with the fans, with people. So I do this work, and I love this work. Also, it is crazy because sometimes you can be never off. You have always be focused on your work. But I like it also because it can be part of the dreams for people and for football fans. So I'm happy to be with you, and thank you. And I started when I was 17. Now I am 27. And when I was 17, I started because I was loving to be, I had the dream to be a journalist. And I was studying, but during the study, I was starting to write for a website here in Italy, a small website here in Italy. And I've been lucky. You have to be lucky in your life for everything, in my opinion. And I've been lucky because one day I was writing for this website, articles about players, young players. I always like to scout young players and something like this. And one day an agent contacted me, an Italian agent who was living in Barcelona. And he told me, I don't know how he had my phone number. He never told me why. And he contacted me and he told me, I want to speak with you about some players, and I am the agent of these young players in Barcelona, and if you can help me writing something about them in Italy. I told him yes. The players were Gerard Deulofeu and Mauro Icardi. They were like,
wow.
Yes, so he was so good. He was so good, and he became an important agent here in Italy. And so I started like this because I helped him. He helped me also to have some numbers of directors, of agents, and that's all. It was 10 years ago. And I will never imagine to be at this level because I'm happy to speak about transfers, not just in Italy, but I try all over the world how much I can. It's normal, you can't cover everything, but I try to do my best. And yes, for sure, in the last year and last 2 years, I've had a good rise, and I'm happy because I always have to say thank you to the fans because, okay, I can do something special with the news, I can do something special with the journalists, but I think the main idea in my future and in my way is always with the fans, because I like when the fans are going to buzz for a transfer news, going to dream for a player. So I try to give my best also for the fan, not just for myself, not just for the journalism. It's not about money. It's about really the fans. I love when the fans get crazy because of the news, and so that's my mission. Yes.
So when you excuse me, when you drop a tweet, here we go. That's obviously become your catchphrase over the years now. Here we go. Do you I know you obviously reply to people. I see you reply to people. You actually reply to a lot of people.
I try.
The size of your account, which I like, because when I set this channel up, I do a lot of live streaming here rather than just putting a video out and reading comments. And I did that because I wanted to interact with other football fans. And it's just nice, not just for Arsenal, because we're not the greatest at the moment, but when you see other teams' fans in my comments and stuff like that, it's nice that other teams can all come together. What I wanted to ask you is, obviously, I mentioned about the Pepe. You put Nicolas Pepe tweet out, and obviously we signed him off of the back of that. Was that the deal that you got the most credibility on social media from, or is there another deal that's given you a lot of credibility because you called it first before anybody else?
I think this one was one of the best for sure. Well, the one of Pepe, because we were expecting many other clubs on him, and I remember they were speaking also about Napoli, about Atletico Madrid, many clubs, but no one was speaking about Arsenal. So it was an important news for sure. The first one, in my opinion, for me, for myself, here in Italy, was about Inter going to sign Ever Banega from Spain. Yes, this was an important news here in Italy. So I started to be considered just in Italy with this news. Then with Pepe one, it was so important for me all last summer. Also the Bruno Fernandes one with Manchester United in January, because many Manchester United fans were asking me 1 year ago during the summer transfer window, and they were saying, why everyone is saying Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United is done, he's coming tomorrow, he's flying tomorrow. And I was saying, no, I didn't know this. I know the player is not coming immediately, and he didn't came. And after 6 months later, I read the news with Bruno to Manchester United, and the fans were getting crazy. So this one, the Pepe one, I had some news that give me credibility, and I'm happy. But as I told you, it's more with the fans than about journalism like this. I like this because I'm always watching football. I love football, so I know the feeling that people have when you give a news. It's a fantastic feeling. It's like I always say, it's like scoring a goal for me. It's like I am playing an important match. Yes. And when I have important news and I go with it, here we go, I feel like scoring a goal in Champions League. Yes.
That's brilliant. Do you know what? Just speaking to you for the 6 minutes or so we've been live, you can see the passion you've got for your job. And I really like that because a lot of people do a job and they don't particularly like it. But they do it because it's a high-paid job or it gives them a lot of, exposure, etc., etc. But every time I've watched you, and obviously now speaking to you, I can see that your eyes just light up when you're speaking about football, which is brilliant because, listen, it's the best sport in the world. And it brings people from every single part of the world together, especially on social media as well. So, yeah, that's really good. You're obviously very well respected with football clubs and other journalists and obviously football agents. But what do you think sets you apart from others with these football clubs and with agents? Because obviously you've got a lot of contacts over the last few years or so. You get the news very quickly before others tweet it out, etc., etc. What makes you stand out compared to others?
I think that they know, and when I say they, I speak about agents, they speak about directors of football. They know that when I speak with them, when I try to give a news, I don't do anything to create any problem to the clubs, to the agents. I just try to be honest. So it's impossible to be first on every news. If you cover Italy, Spain, and Premier League and every transfer market, it's impossible. But I want to be correct. And when you are first, it's important, it's beautiful, but I want to be always correct. And this is so respected by directors, by the agents, that you don't go to say something that is not true just to create rumors, just to create people happy, and then the players are not coming, just to create problems to an agent, to another club. So they know that I'm gonna check everything because I want to be correct. For me, it's important to be the first, but it's impossible to be first on everything. I can try sometimes to be, but I always want to be correct. But it's just a matter of respect also for the fans, as I told you, not just because of the agents of the directors. So for me, the key of my work is the respect with the people, and the contact with the people, because I don't want them to feel me just as a journalist. I don't want to call a director or an agent just to get the news, because if I am friend of the agent of Pepe, for example, I'm not gonna call him just to tell him, give me the news about Pepe, where is he going, but I'm gonna call him also when the window is closed, to know about his family, about his situation, because I want to have friends. And in football, I have many friends. I don't see them just agents or directors. It's normal. You can't have this kind of relationship with everyone in football. But with many people, I have a good relationship also about speaking of my life or their life, also outside from football. So that's why I love my job, because yes, it's a terrible work, because during the window you can be never off, but it's like being part of a family, and I like it. I want to give respect, because if you give respect to the people, if they are fans, if they are agents, if they are directors, they always give you back respect. So that's the key, the secret, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it sounds good as well. The fact that you interact with people not just to get news, that's the best part for me, because they then think, oh look, he's just using me. He only wants to find out a scoop of the story. No, that's really good. I wanted to talk about transfers. And how they actually work, because a lot of us as football fans just look at it and go, this club has bid £50 million for a player, that's been accepted, that's now our player, that's done. but it's a lot more than that goes into that, isn't there? And I want, if you can, to explain about the legal side of it with paperwork, contracts and stuff like that.
Yes, yes.
A lot of people don't really understand that side of it.
Yes, it's not easy to explain because it depends really by transfer. It's never the same in particular in top level football. So if we speak about the first division football, it depends by deal. But it has changed so much in last years, because if I speak about transfer market 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and before, they were going to be like club contacted another club to sign the player. They find an agreement and they go with the player. They find an agreement also in the contract, and okay, here we go. And now it's not like this, because now we have many agents working to the deal, and you have to consider when you have a deal that you have the club, the other club, the agent of the player, but you have also the intermediary, who is another agent many times that is working to the deal, and you also have the player who must decide about his future, the family of the player. In many cases, they can say, okay, I want to go to Italy or to Premier League or to France. So you have to consider you have many people involved in a transfer. It's not like 5 years ago or 7 years ago or 10 years ago. Now it's really complicated, but it's more easy to find news, I think, because you have many sources you can contact, many sources you can check. So it's not just because I know some football director of the club. Many news are coming also from the agents or from the intermediary, because they are working about it. So for example, in football today, we have many agents who are working with a good relationship with the clubs. For example, Jorge Mendes, Mino Raiola, this kind of agents who have good relationship. They go to speak about their players with the clubs. Then they are contacted by the clubs if they are interested in the player, or the club contact the agent if they are looking at, in particular, at any player. And then it starts, because now the agents are, I won't say important as the clubs. It's not like some years ago. Now, if you want to take a player, you have to speak before with the agent. You have to find the agreement on the contract of the player. For example, with that in the last days with Sancho and with Manchester United, but then they didn't have the agreement between clubs. So it's become even complicated, because, for example, also Arsenal were speaking with Thomas Partey, with his agents, but they don't have the agreement with Atletico Madrid. So some years ago, it was like, okay, I go, I pay to the club, and then I find the agreement with the player. Now it's different. You speak with the agents, you speak with the intermediary, you try to find the agreement with the player, and then you go to negotiate with the club. So it has changed so much, and it's so slow, because apart from middle table clubs or small clubs, for the top clubs, an important transfer can need like 1 month or 2 months to be completed. And I remember, for example, the league to Juventus 1 year ago, it was like done deal. The agreement was done in June between the league and Juventus, between Juventus and Ajax. The fee was agreed, so everything was okay. But they were missing the commission for Mino Raiola, and they needed like 4 weeks to complete the deal. So it's so slow, and I'm not happy when I see fans that say, "Why, Fabrizio, you say it's done and he's not signing, he's not official," because it needs time. So I say to the fans, keep waiting. It's not FIFA now. It's not going to buy players in 1 week or in 1 afternoon. You need time.
No, that's true. And then the thing is as well, I mean, some of the clauses in the contracts now are ridiculously stupid. Like, compared to back in the day, 10, 15, 20 years ago, where it was like you just get a goal bonus or a clean sheet bonus. I mean, now some of the demands are just getting out of hand, really. It's crazy. And obviously it all has to come as one, and everyone has to be on the same page. So let me ask you, what's been your most memorable moment as a sports journalist?
I would say, but because it's me, as I told you about Icardi, about this agent, I remember the first time I had the important news about Icardi, when Mauro was playing in Sampdoria, who is a little team here in Italy, a good team, but not a top team. And he was going good because he was one of the young players who were going to show their skills. So he was doing so well. And his agent, as I told you, I was his friend. He started me to become a journalist, so I will be always thankful to him. And he contacted me. It was October, so the window was closed. The window was closed and the transfers were not on, so I was not expecting this. And he contacted me, he called me, and he told me, today I had a meeting with Inter. We found a total agreement, so you will see this on the papers like in January, like in December, but we are in October. Today we find the agreement. Mauro Icardi will be an Inter player. They will pay him this. They will have this kind of contract. And he told me everything. He told me, because you helped me when you were so young, I helped you, but now it's time to give important news. So you can say Icardi will go to Inter. And it was the first time in my life I had an important news about the top team like Inter here in Italy. And I remember the feeling was really something special. I remember it was raining here in Milano, and I was out, I was with my friends, and really I was like feeling something special. I can say with my words because it's something really special. And also Inter here is so considered, it's an important team. Mauro Icardi has become one of the best strikers in the world. Now Paris Saint-Germain bought him for 50 million euros. So we are speaking about the top player. And I was remembering when he was speaking about with me about Icardi when he was like 15, something like this, 16, and then he became an Inter player. And I said, okay, wow, it's a special feeling. So that's the transfer who I am related, and I feel I have special feelings when I remember, because it's something really unbelievable for me. It's part of my story, and I will never forget this.
No, that's a brilliant story as well. Absolutely amazing to see somebody come up through the ranks and actually get a big transfer to Inter Milan. I mean, Inter Milan are a massive football club. We all know how big they are. But he's a top-class striker as well, a very good player.
Yes, I agree with you.
And yeah,
I will be always a fan of Icardi because it's part of my life. So I will be always a fan wherever he will go. Yes.
Even when he's playing and retired and just playing, just playing beach football or something.
Yes, always. I go with Icardi always, also on the beach. Yes.
Do you support an English football team? Obviously,
yes, I do.
Obviously, Arsenal. Yeah.
No. No. I say this sometimes on social media. I support Watford. I'm a fan of Watford. Yes.
Wow.
I've always been a big fan of Watford because the first time I saw Watford playing this crazy match, the historical crazy match against Leicester with Troy Deeney scoring in the last minute, I was watching the match and wow, I had a special feeling in this moment. And they have Italian ownership, so I always watch them because I know the owner, who is Gino Pozzo, who is Italian, who has another club here in Italy that is Udinese. So I know him, I know them, how they work. I love the club, I love the mentality. I love also the small clubs. I don't like always the top clubs. It's so easy. I prefer also to go to watching small clubs, new players, and something like this. And I've been in Vicarage Road one time because then after I saw this match with Troy Deeney scoring, I said, okay, I have to play with FIFA on video games, always with Watford, Football Manager, always Watford.
No way. I did not expect you to say Watford. I thought you was going to say Man United, Chelsea.
No. It was Watford. Always been Watford. And so I always played with Watford in my life, also in video games, in FIFA, like this. I've been in Vicarage Road many times, and I am Watford fan. Yes.
Fair play to you. Let me ask you about Leo Messi, because there's a lot of stories doing the rounds at the moment, because obviously a couple of days ago, as we know, he tried to activate a clause that's apparently in his contract that said he could leave for free, but it'd gone past the date of that. So now Barcelona are obviously sitting down trying to work out a way to get this resolved. Yes. Do you actually think that he is going to leave? Because he's been there for his whole life pretty much in footballing terms. And for me, he's the best player I've ever seen in my life. And
I agree with you.
I'm 38 years old, and I'm quite old, so I've seen a lot of players. But do you think that he is actually going to leave Barcelona?
I think yes, because also if the president will dismiss, also they will change the board, also they change the manager. But I think Leo wants to leave. What I'm told is that Leo wants to leave, wants to change, wants another chapter, wants to finish his career in another club. So it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking because, as you said, Leo Messi is a legend. Leo Messi is a top player, one of the best in the history of football. But Leo Messi, also if we speak about Ronaldo, we speak about many players, top players, but Leo Messi is the club, he's not the player. He's the club. When you think to Barcelona, you think to Leo Messi. Cristiano had Manchester United, had Sporting, had Real Madrid, now Juventus. So you think to many clubs. When you think about Leo Messi, it's like thinking to Rome and to the Colosseo, because it's normal. It's like a monument. It's like Tour Eiffel in Paris. If you think to Barcelona, you say Leo Messi. So it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And I have to be honest, I was not expecting this move on this summer because he always said he wants to stay. Also, when in April, someone in Argentina said he was thinking to leave the club, he immediately denied the rumors. So he always said he wants to stay. Then I think the situation with the board, with Barcelona, is really terrible for Leo. He has a terrible relationship with someone in the board, with the president. He's not happy with the team. He's not happy with the manager. So he wants to leave. And I think nothing can change the idea of a player, like a top player like Leo. Also, when Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to leave the Real Madrid, they tried to convince him, stay here, we give you a new contract, and you say they want to change. And when a top player wants to change, I think it's a good opportunity to see him in another league. and I think Premier League is the favorite one with Manchester City or Paris Saint-Germain in Ligue 1, but I don't see many other clubs who can afford the crazy wages of Leo Messi.
It's unbelievable. His wages, I was reading an article the other day, 75 million just on image rights.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. Fair play. Listen, he deserves every penny. He's an unbelievable footballer. Let me bombard you with a couple of names that Arsenal are linked to, because a lot of subscribers to my channel have been asking, Lee, speak to Fabrizio, ask him about this, ask him about that. So I want to ask, firstly, Thomas Partey. I know you kind of touched on that earlier, but Thomas Partey to Arsenal, do you think that happened?
At the moment, no. I think no, because the position of Atletico Madrid is so clear. I know so well the board of Atletico Madrid. They also did this also in the past when many clubs asked for other players. If they have a top player, and Thomas is a top player, they say, or you pay what we want, and what we want is the release clause, so you have to pay 50 million euro, or you don't get the player. I am told that 3 weeks ago, Arsenal told the Atletico Madrid board, we are not going to pay the release clause. So at the moment, there is no agreement, no intention from Arsenal to pay the release clause. They want to negotiate, they want to insert players. They offered Guendouzi also some month ago. It was like 1 month ago, offering Guendouzi in the deal, and Atletico Madrid said no. So at the moment, there is no agreement. There is the opportunity to sign the player also because Thomas is considering to move to Premier League. He's attracted by Arsenal. He had contacts by his family, his agents with Arsenal. But at the moment, you have to pay 50 million euro. So in this transfer market, I think we had a big change respectful to transfer market some years ago, because many clubs were expecting after the virus that top clubs were going to change the fee of some important players. For example, Manchester United with Sancho or Chelsea with Kai Havertz, and the same for Arsenal with Thomas. So they were expecting, okay, the value is 50 million euro. After the virus, they are going to ask like 30 or 35, no more 50. And it's not like this, because the clubs want the same fee. Also, if we had the virus, also if we had problems, all top clubs had problems with the economical part after the virus, but they want money. And so in this moment, it's complicated, I think, to pay 50 million euro just for one player. But we have to see if Arsenal will go to sell some players, if we go to change something. We will see. I will not say it's impossible. I'm saying if Arsenal will get Thomas Partey, it will be for the release clause. At the moment, they have no intention to pay, but we have 1 month, so let's see.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go. Next player, I'll probably get this guy's name wrong, but Houssem Aouar, linked to Arsenal as well. A lot of stories saying that Guendouzi is going to be part of a potential deal. Arsenal obviously don't like Guendouzi right now. He's the guy that's going to be kicked out of the club. He's the bad guy at the moment. But do you think that that could potentially happen?
I think it's difficult about Aouar, because we were speaking about 50 million euro for Thomas Partey. If we speak about Aouar, we are around 60, 70 million euro. And so it will be so difficult, I think, to take Aouar. For sure, what I can guarantee to you that Arsenal board is in love with Aouar. Mikel Arteta is in love with Aouar. So they will, for sure, they will try. I'm sure they will try, because we are speaking of a top player, but as many other clubs will try, because we have rumors also here in Italy with Juventus, and the same that Juventus board say is that we like the player, but it's so difficult to take him for 60 or 70 million euro this summer. So we have to wait a bit, I think, because also his agents have said we need some time. He had a terrible season until the end of August. We have been playing for all the summer, so he wants to relax. He wants to decide keeping calm in some weeks in September, not in August. So we need to wait a bit to understand if Arsenal, if Manchester City, if Juventus will go with the important bit. At the moment, there is no club who has arrived to Lyon offering 60 million euro. So it needs time, and I think we have always to remember we are in COVID-19 summer, so it will be difficult to pay this kind of fee, but not just about Arsenal. It's about many clubs. For example, Juventus here in Italy is just doing swap deals, and same will be for Inter, and same will be for a Spanish club. You won't say Real Madrid signing players this summer for 100 million euro. So just Chelsea, but because they had problems the last 2 years. They had problems. They didn't have transfer market for 2 years, so it's normal.
Yeah, and Chelsea are very good as well at getting youth players out and getting good money for their youth players that barely play any games. That's how they balance their book so well. I'm jealous looking at Chelsea with all the players they've signed. Ziyech, Havertz. They've announced another one today with Malang Sarr. That was a player Arsenal linked to. And I am kind of jealous of Chelsea. I just wish that Abramovich was over in North London. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. Let me ask you a couple of players that could be potentially leaving. Hector Bellerin. There's links today with apparently Juventus. Is there any substance to that, or is that just...
There was some rumors also here in Italy about a possible swap deal between Juventus and Rugani, between Juventus and Arsenal for Rugani and Bellerin, and they were speaking about it. But Juventus board told me also they won't do this deal. So I think no. Also because they give some links with Rugani to Arsenal. I don't know why, since many years, but I'm told that Arsenal are not interested in Rugani. Every year we have Arsenal or Rugani, but they are not going for him. The real centre back that Arsenal loves here in Italy is the other Juventus centre back, who is the Turkish Merih Demiral is his name. He's a fantastic centre back in my opinion. If I would have 50 million euro, I would immediately go to buy him, because I'm convinced he will become one of the best centre back in the world. But in this moment, I know Arsenal have contacted Juventus also like in April, May, to understand the situation, to make a bid for Demiral. But at the moment, Juventus say the player is untrustable. He will stay for sure to Juventus also this summer, so it will be impossible to sign him.
Yeah, and then obviously Arsenal have now not officially announced it, but we have got Gabriel now. So
exactly, it was before Gabriel. Yes.
Yeah,
and it's a top deal. Really, I'm so happy for Arsenal because they signed a top defender in my opinion. I like him so much.
I totally agree. I just need Arsenal to announce it now.
Yes, I think today or tomorrow they will.
Hopefully. One last player before I let you go, and
yes,
I know you're extremely busy. Alexander Lacazette.
Mm-hmm.
He's linked with Atletico Madrid. He's linked with a move to Italy, to Inter Milan, to Juventus. There's so many clubs that are linked with him. Is there any truth in any of them, or is he likely to stay at Arsenal this summer?
I want to conclude that he can stay. For sure, his agents are speaking with many clubs. They spoke with Juventus, but Juventus can't pay in this moment like 50 million euro or 60 million euro to sign Lacazette, and they won't pay this fee. So Juventus director Fabio Paratici was in England some days ago, and he had a meeting also with his agents, but they didn't find any agreement. So in this moment, I say Juventus no. Inter, I think no too. Inter will go with Lautaro and Lukaku also next season, so they are not going for Lacazette. For sure, they spoke with Atletico Madrid. It was in the meeting they had for Thomas. The first time, it was in July, they spoke about Guendouzi. They spoke also about Lacazette. But at the moment, Atletico Madrid was not going on for Lacazette. So I think we have to wait a bit about the situation, because it also will depend by what will happen to other clubs. If Atletico Madrid will sell, for example, Diego Costa, what will happen with Luis Suarez. I think in September we will have a domino, we say here in Italy, about strikers, So with Lacazette it's possible. We will have Luis Suarez, we will have Edin Dzeko, we will have also Cavani, who has problems with Benfica. So keep an eye about this kind of situation, because with the first one to move, we will have many others to go. But I don't think Lacazette will play in Italy. I think Arsenal or some Spanish club, for example, Atletico Madrid. I don't think in Italy.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Listen, thank you for giving up some of your time today. Like I said, I know you're absolutely crazy busy all the time.
Don't worry.
And listen, also, I want to just say thank you as well, because I know you get so many messages. The fact that you see mine, I'm extremely. It's like me winning the lottery.
Yes.
I won the lottery.
No, so I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be with you, really. I want to take the opportunity also to say thank you to your followers, also to Arsenal fans, to all football fans as always. So I'm happy to be with you, and I hope to give you news also in September, also in the last days of August and in September, because we are going for a beautiful transfer market. Don't worry, beautiful transfer window, I'm convinced.
No, that's brilliant. Thanks very much. And listen, I'd love to have you on again sometime as well.
Thanks so much. Whenever you want. Thank you again.
Thank you.